and welcome to In the Box. We're here today at MSB Woolton, who are one of our largest clubs, for the exciting launch of the England Football Family. The England Football Family is our way of rewarding, recognising and connecting volunteers up and down the country who give thousands of hours week in, week out to make the game happen.
Whilst we're here, we're going to talk to a couple of those key individuals that will tell us about the operation behind the scenes to allow the hundreds of players here enjoy the game we all love. But this is just one club. There's 18,000 of you out there. So it's testament to you why this episode is focusing on the England Football Family, because it is you that truly does make football happen. I'll also be heading over to Wembley to talk to this year's National Grassroots Football Award winners to find out their amazing stories.
But to kick us off for now, here's a taste of what it's like to be part of our England Football Family.
Let's go, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
A family bound by commitment,
passion,
sacrifice,
a shared love.
more than the sum of its parts.
The England Football Family are the beating heart.
making football happen,
Going further,
Taking action.
doing good.
for football,
Friends,
Family.
club,
Community. Making the beautiful game happen, come rain or shine.
helping,
supporting,
coaching,
Raising the funds.
raising the spirits,
running the line,
showing up when it matters, time after time.
Individual acts make an impact across the game.
Making the tees, keeping the grounds.
volunteers who keep football flowing,
All season round.
Many different reasons.
One family together.
Always essential.
respected,
Appreciated.
Truly valued.
Never any effort wasted.
the England Football Family.
Volunteering has never been more rewarding.
Here we are at the home of MSB Woolton. We told you that there was one of the biggest clubs in the country, but we didn't give you the size and scale of that operation. They operate here over 160 teams, providing football for boys and girls of all ages. What that means for value contribution, though, back to their community, is that they offer £6.4 million worth of investment for social good and for social change. Here to tell us more about it, we have got Chris and Curtis. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
I know you've got two amazing stories. I think I'm going to come to yourself, Curtis, in terms of tell us what age you started at the club and what journey you've been on since then.
Sure thing. So 8 years old was when I first started at Woolton. I was across the road, dropped off by my mum. She was going to Asda and dropped me off at a football training session, which wasn't meant to be Woolton. I ran over to a game that was being played, and I'm here 20 years later. So it's been a fun journey.
And Chris, yourself?
Mine's a different story. I have a boy who's 22 and was looking for a team. And the team I took him to at the beginning when he was 5 said to me, bring him back on Saturday for a trial. I said, he's 5. So I found Woolton. And that's my journey. I was suckered in and took the team. He's moved on. I've stayed and do the academy now as well as other roles within. So yeah, I'm just suckered in.
Can you give us a little bit of a flavour of what it is that you do then in your roles here at the club? Because I know some of you've got many hats, but if you could just give us an insight into what it's like.
Yeah, well, Curtis and I run the academy for the under-5s, under-6s. That journey then takes them into the next teams. We enrol coaches. I'm also a welfare officer as one of the major things that we do within the club to make sure everyone's safe, safeguarded. And I run the girls' academy. And we have an open age that I help out with. So quite a few roles that we do between us. But primarily our aim is getting the younger ones into teams, moving them on, getting parents to get involved, to move the teams on. And that's how we've had this for years and years, and it's been so successful. And the boys that the ball's coming in now, they all started with us when they were 5. So that's the journey there, and they're under 15s now. We've got boys Curtis' age who are now in our adults team, and they started with us when they were 5 and 6. So the pathway is good, but it's a lot of hard work. But hey, we're still here, still smiling. And see the joy of the kids makes it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. You say you sort of get suckered in. But once you're in the club of this size and this operation, you can almost lose that family feel. But us turning up here this evening, you get a real sense of family, and being able to maintain that with over 160 teams. How do you achieve it as a club?
It's down to every individual volunteer and parent just buying into that love of football, enjoyment for the kids, and carrying that on. We can't take all the credit for that. It's down to every individual here. Everyone makes a conscious decision to be a part of that, show up and just do what they can for the club and the community.
And it's the ethos of football for all. If you can't kick a ball, don't worry, come on in. Especially at the younger age, where now, we're working with obesity and there's the kids sitting home on Xboxes. Just, they need to get out. Here, no trials, come along, enjoy. If you like it, you like it. No pressure, just come and enjoy.
You made a great point there about it's down to the individuals. And I just wanted to sort of pick your brains on that and why you volunteer? What is it that motivates you to get involved? And the same for you as well.
For me, I started playing football for a team when I was 8, and my purpose for coaching was to give back to an 8, 9-year-old like myself, to get them having the same journey that I did, making friends the way I did, have the experience and enjoyment that I did playing football. And haven't got on to any great heights in that sense, but to be able to give back to another young kid like me at that age to, potentially dream and achieve that themselves, that's what I do it for.
Yeah, I have a different path. I went away to sea when I was 16. I didn't have a football pathway, but I've got friends who now in the 60s like me, and 2 of them play for England vets, but wherever we go, they meet people. And it's a lifestyle, they move on. And this is what we're trying to give for the kids. And when you come here, especially on a Saturday morning, and you see 65, 6-year-olds running around, headless chickens, and we're running around with them, and they walk away, and the weather that we're in today, and they come off and say, Mum, that was the best session we've ever had. How can you give that up? I can't, I don't know me. I keep saying I might do, year after year, I'll give it up. But as soon as they go off smiling, you go off smiling. Forget about all your stresses through the week. When I say through the week, we're here 6 days a week, to be fair. So as well as having full-time jobs, it's that. And it's just the giving back. It's the give back. Parents come to say he's paying more attention in school. He's learning. His exams have got better. His results have got better. And this is because he's out and he's making friends. He's making life. He's making journeys. He's making stories. She is, I think I'd mentioned in the last pod I've been on before with yourselves, we'd do a session of a Friday. We started with 12 girls, 14 girls. The girls went and win the Euros. The Friday after, 65.
Brilliant.
So we've just made 5 new teams of girls, and that's great as well. And they run away, 4 or 5-year-old girls, go away, buzzing them. So it's all about that for me.
Yeah, and the things that you've just said there, it might start small, it might be a sense of community, but football's a universal language, and it soon becomes the language of being able to have that connection that is much more far-reaching than the community that's on your doorstep. So like you say, your friends that play for the England vets, they've got connections all over. Yeah. And it takes a lot of dedication to be able to give up them 6 nights a week, and everything you're saying will resonate with everybody that's listening, because they do the same. They've got the full-time jobs, they're in there week in, week out. The bit that I want to dive into is a little bit is that coaching is the one that's always gets the visibility, because they're on the touchline week in, week out. But what's the army of volunteers behind the coaches look like here at this club, and the type of roles that they undertake to help support the on-pitch stuff happen?
I consider everybody to be a volunteer. Parents bring the kids, staff that work here, anyone that helps open a gate, pick up a cone, put a goal back, take it out. Everybody plays a part. Okay, we're the coaches and we deliver a session, but kids wouldn't be at the session if it wasn't for the parents. Teams wouldn't still be together 10, 12, 13 years later if someone's auntie or granddad took up the treasury role to keep the money for each individual team. So everything you could possibly think of, and from every background you can think of. There's not one person alike, but everybody comes together to make it happen. So,
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, you mentioned we've got over 200 clubs here. There's a kit man. We have a full-time kit man. He has a full-time job.
You bet he's busy.
He is, man, because we've got 4 different kits they can choose from, and they all want different kits. They all want different sizes. They want names on the back. So that's a full-time job. We've got a treasurer, Viv, who's supposed to be 12 hours. She'll do 12 hours in a day, never mind in a week. There's another coach over the road, Kev. He's got a full-time job. He's our main welfare officer. So there's all them little bits that you don't see. And as Curtis said, whether it's a parent picking a cone up or a parent putting a goal away, as soon as they pick it up, we've got them. We've got them. They're in. That's it. You're taking a team. That's you. It just happened with our under-6s. We just had 2 teams here today. I went over to see how they were doing. They've set up a treasurer, so there's 2 more volunteers. They've got a secretary, 2 more volunteers. They've got assistant coaches, 3 more volunteers. And that's what you don't see. It's the journey, and they're on their journey now. And that's the pathway that they lead. So it's far-reaching than people just thinking, well, it's coaching. It's not. It's not.
Thanks ever so much for being on the podcast. It's been truly remarkable to come and have another conversation with yourselves, a club that's growing and going from strength to strength, but them key messages there in terms of just thanking your volunteers, recognising them for what they do, whether that's just laying down a cone, putting out a goal, or actually being on the committee as a role that yourselves do. It's a critical point of view for us all to be able to continue to play the game we love.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And on that note, obviously, you can get involved in the England football family. There is the year-round thank you campaign. We're going to actually go now and listen to some of the stories about those thank yous that have been sent to those individuals that are deservedly so.
This is a FA Volunteer Thank You Award, Maggie, which we'd like to present to you tonight.
I'm Maggie Hookfield and I'm the CEO of Liberty Jamboree, which is an inclusive youth provision for young people with special educational needs. I have a specific passion for young people with SEN to be included in everything in life, really.
Maggie's a very selfless person, very fun, very bubbly, very positive person. She's outstanding.
The football, MSA Liberty, it was born out of parents asking for that safe place for their children to go and play football. Football for me is more about the skills, especially for young people we send, working as a team, communication, listening, sharing, resilience.
And Maggie has supported us guys as football players, and she's been doing so much things for us, organising trips, and she has been very busy.
She makes sure that everybody's here week in, week out, and obviously transports the young people there if needs be. She does all this for nothing. She just deserves it for all the hard work that she puts in.
It's all thank you to Maggie and Callum that I enjoyed football, and Youth Club would never have been the same without her.
I don't think I deserve it because I'm just in the background. The coaches and the young people are the guys that work hard, but I am very grateful.
So here we are at the home of football, Wembley Stadium, for what is the FA Community Shield 2024. But prior to kick-off, we're here to celebrate the national winners for the Grassroots Football Awards. So we're going to go inside, chat to them, and just pay appreciation and respect to all they do for the game up and down the country week in, week out. Let's go. So here we are inside the Great Hall. The awards are in full swing. We're getting ready for kick-off, but I'm joined by our first winner here at the awards. Just tell us what it is you've been up to at the club and why you've made it to the Great Hall here to celebrate that win.
So there's a few different things I've been involved in. First one was helping push the girls section in the club. So historically it's been males, mixed teams for the junior teams, but we've pushed this year, last season, to get more female teams. So we've had a ladies team, but we've now pushed to try and get the juniors to get that pathway. We have a pathway from soccer school, from under 7 boys up to the adults and vets.
Yep.
So we're trying to do the same now with the girls section. So help coach the under 7s. Also involved in the sponsorship side for funding. Funding's very tight for Cockgrave as a club. We don't have bars or masses of income like our neighbouring teams. So pushed to have the sponsorship. We raised a considerable amount, not just myself, but the other guys that are involved. We got away from the adult section, so first team we're in step 7, aim is to get to step 6. A lot of the clubs in our league, the lads don't pay subs. So we got rid of that last year, trying to make it more appealing to the local lads. Now, a majority of the team are local from the soccer school have stayed through to the adults, so we've tried to get the funding to eliminate that. And also we've renovated. We're tight on cash. The changing rooms, the snack bar, the ground itself was 20 years old, hasn't been touched. But the bit for me and the chairman and the other committee members, we saw pictures of our ground and it was embarrassing. So we've all had a push, not just myself, but many volunteers doing the changing rooms. We've done the snack bar, we've done external. So we've just really pushed as a group just to get the club where it needs to be. Very large team in Nottinghamshire, 36 teams. Yeah, so we're pushing for more. So that's kind of where the drive's come from, really.
Well, no wonder you've been recognised. Everything that you just spoke about there, absolutely amazing. Incentives to allow barriers to be broken down, allow people to play. And Maria, I'm going to come to you, obviously. The women's here in this country winning the Euros and then them going to Parliament and government and getting equal access for girls. What does it mean for someone like yourself, seeing a club like yours actually striving to allow more girls and women to play the game?
Well, it's been amazing since we actually found, well, I would say we because I was part of the first season when we started the game, well, playing the ladies. And it's been amazing because it's not just about football, it's about making friends, having fun. The first year was basically development, so it was really about having fun and getting close to each other. And now it's getting more competitive, so it's getting even more interesting. Yeah. So it's amazing. I'm looking forward for every weekend to kind of like play. Tomorrow we've got a game, a friendly, so I'm really excited because we are going to restart the season. So it's amazing.
The one final question I want to ask you both. We're here launching the England Football Family, which is all about the recognition of people that give up so much time and energy like yourselves to make football happen. For people out there that are thinking about volunteering or want to become part of this England Football Family, what would your one message from each of you be?
I think just get involved. Whether it's just picking the cones up after a game, putting the corner flags out, just do a little something. There's a lot of pressure on the coaches. I think sometimes it's very hard to get involved. People are scared of being given too much. But picking the balls up goes a long way. Picking the cones, even the rubbish. One little job from each of the parents make the coaches, managers' lives a lot easier. And you'll probably see more people have an uptake because everyone's doing their little bit just to help out.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ellen. Maria, from you?
That's just the little things that matter, aren't they? So it's just helping a little bit and getting involved, and then as many people gets involved, it's better, isn't it? So it's just about that.
Every little helps and everyone has a part to play.
It is.
Fantastic message.
Brilliant, thank you.
Adam, Maria, they're just serving the main course, so I'll let you go have something to eat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel really bad because desserts are out, but I have got the opportunity to speak to Arnie Ross, Groundsman of the Year. Arnie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Just tell us a little bit about your role and what it is you do back at the club.
Okay. I help out at Urmston Merseyside Football Club, which is in Urmston, Manchester. Do things such as making sure the pitches are suitable and the guys can play on it safely. So it's cutting the grass, lining the pitches, making sure the pitches are level as much as possible. I do pitch inspections, so obviously if there's any issues to do with the weather, which unfortunately we suffer quite a lot with.
Especially in Manchester.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, this winter just gone is one of the worst I've ever known.
Okay.
So that's been quite challenging.
Yeah.
But we managed to get all the fixtures completed on time, which is good.
Which is thanks to people like yourself that are giving up that time that can make them pitches playable when you do have the adverse weather over the weekends.
Yeah, it's very difficult because obviously the kids want to play, irrespective, but you've got to be mindful of health and safety and make sure that no one's going to fall over and, God forbid, break their ankle or something like that. So you've got to be mindful of situations like that.
Yeah.
Much as you want to make sure the kids enjoy themselves and can play football, yeah.
And what made you get into volunteering and giving up your time, and what was it particularly around groundskeeping that attracted you to the role?
It's something I've enjoyed doing in the past, gardening basically and whatever. When I retired from a full-time job, I started to do a little bit of gardening part-time. And someone asked me if I could help out the club out for a couple of hours one week. And that was about, I think, sort of 11 years ago or something. I'm still there, and it's pretty much full-time and half at the moment. So but I've got to confess, it's something I enjoy doing. I enjoy when the kids are playing, they're able to play, and the coaches have obviously got a lot to do to keep the kids in check and develop the kids and help out with their abilities, etc. So if I can do anything to make their job a little bit easier by making the pitches playable and make sure they can get as many games on as possible, then I do feel as if it's been worthwhile and have achieved something.
So for 11 years, you've taken what was a passion in gardening, giving it back to your local community, and you said it there, the coaches have a lot to do. So it really is a football family that takes a lot to make football happen. What would you say to the other volunteers out there that obviously give up so much time? You're here deservedly so to be recognised as a national winner, but what would you say to all the other volunteers out there that aren't with us today?
I would say sometimes possibly because we're a little bit in the background, and my position, if you like, as groundsman, and to be recognised like this is fantastic. And I like to think, on behalf of all the grounds people who work throughout the country, it's your role is really important, and the things that the grounds people do for the pitches and organising games and etc., making sure the pitches are maintained and whatever, it's critical. It may not be very glamorous, it's not exactly front line with the coaches or whatever, but it is a very, very important role. And never underestimate what your contribution is and how much it helps the kids to enjoy the football. And it's something you can look back on and think, well, I've played a little bit of part in them enjoying the game today.
Yeah. And I think all players can be guilty of just turning up and the pitch is ready for them and not recognising or knowing that someone like yourself is behind all that hard work to make sure it takes place. So from myself and from England Football, and I'm sure all the people at the club, a massive congratulations and thank you. I'll let you get back to your dessert because I could see that your friends are eyeing it up and looking to pinch it off you.
Right, okay, yeah. I think some of it's gone already.
Well, have a wonderful day. Thanks, Arnie.
All right, thank you very much. Cheers.
So I've just bumped into Shelby, last year's Bobby Moore winner, which obviously is the cherry on the cake.
Yeah.
And Shelby, obviously being back here, getting to be back in this room and recognise the people that got the award similar to yourself last year. What does it feel like to be back?
Oh, it's an absolute honour, as you know, it was last year. Honour to be here, let alone to receive an award. That's still blown me away. You know, it's been a year of dreams that you didn't realise the dreams that you had. So it's been incredible to be able to, you know, work within the grassroots kind of awards and kind of get it out there more that, you know, a lot of kids do deserve to play football, and no matter the ability, no matter what, they get to choose, and if they want to come play in football, have fun, then that's what they need to do.
It just gives us a bit of a flavour what your year's been like since last year's awards.
Oh, it's been very busy. So I play amputee football. So we're due to go to the World Cup in November.
Oh, amazing.
So that's incredible. We've done a lot of campaign work to get more volunteers involved. Got to go meet up with the Lions back up in March. Went to St George's, give them the grilling, because that's what I do, unfortunately. But yes, it's just been incredible to have different opportunities, and all led from something that I didn't believe I'd even got. Yeah. So yeah, it's been incredible, and I'm so happy that, you know, the new award winners and the future award winners, the opportunities they're going to get, and it will change their lives as it has mine. So, and the more kids you get to reach, the better, you know, you get to do your job, really.
Yeah. And we're here talking about the England football family as well, which is a bit of a brand and a bit of a launch to start to recognise, appreciate the time that so many individuals up and down the country give week in, week out to make football happen for the likes of myself when I was a youngster growing up.
Myself.
What the people are going to be doing for my kids once they start playing football and stuff. What is it about football that does make it feel like a family to you?
I always saw football as my safe space. I think a lot of people go through a lot growing up, and football's always their escape. And I know it was for me. So being able to volunteer and give that escape to other young children that could be going through all sorts, it is, you know, world sucks sometimes. It's not the greatest.
Yep.
But to have that football family, and you know, it's not just people in your club, it's football in general, like across all clubs, competition, you name it. On the field, okay, it's competition.
Yep,
Off the field, you're a family, you're one. And that's in amputee football, that's on, you know, abled football, that's grassroots football. And that starts from the very, very tinies of the 3-4-year-olds to the oldies, like, you know, us carrying it on. And even when I had 2 legs, I was still playing, so I'm still playing now. So, you know, and even now I play and it's volunteers still.
Yeah.
You know, even at adult level, there's volunteers, and without the volunteers, there wouldn't be football.
No,
it just wouldn't be available. And without it being available, this wouldn't happen. Kids wouldn't be able to play it. Kids wouldn't be able to get out and meet new friends, new family members. And it changes everyone's lives, I think. Football's been huge to me. So if I can make it huge for anyone else, then sweet.
Well, we could tell why she was a Bobby Moore winner last year, can't
Yeah, just
we?
talk and talk and talk.
No, you've got all the messages all on point, exactly, just bringing the room to life. Last question I've got for you. Where is it we're going in November?
Colombia, baby. And then
Brilliant.
it's coming home. It is coming home.
Coming home. You ready
The
for the
amputee
show,
Lionesses, it's bringing it home. We can't wait.
Fantastic. Shelby, thanks ever so
No,
much.
thank
for joining us.
you.
Everyone's just making their way out for kick-off now, but what an experience it has been here in the Great Hall for the Grassroots Football Awards 2024. We're here looking at what is the football family, about the appreciation, the recognition and respect, but it's not all about that. Sometimes it's about the support that volunteers, clubs and leagues need to also differentiate the roles in clubs and the responsibilities that takes place to make sure that clubs run effectively. And I've got alongside me Steph Powell. Steph, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Tom.
I just want to pick your brains a little bit because obviously we've got quite a lot of resources out there, but people listening to the podcast might not know where to go. Will you just give us a bit of a flavour about what we've currently got and what's to come?
Yeah, of course. There's loads of resource across the Clubhouse platform that clubs and leagues can access. Editable resources that might help with their recruitment of volunteers. But I guess importantly to come, we've been working quite hard on a people plan toolkit. So that will look like essentially transferring knowledge, strategies that both clubs and leagues can put in place to recruit volunteers much better, working with kind of specific volunteering organisations that have helped us to do that. But importantly as well, advice that will support when those volunteers arrive, to give them a good experience, to help retain them much better. And it won't just focus on pitch coaches, it'll focus on kind of club leaders, off-pitch volunteers, welfare officers, media officers and so on.
And we've all heard that saying, people eat strategy for breakfast. Well, at the FA, we wait to a strategy, but it's the people that help deliver it. And then obviously the clubs themselves, they might have a strategy, but it's the people that's going to help them deliver it. So the people plan essentially is just a toolkit that they can take in bite-sized chunks in it to help not just recruit, but to reward and retain those volunteers that are vital to the game.
Absolutely. Like the idea is that we will provide the template, but clubs can take what they want and discard what they don't from that resource. They can look, we appreciate that volunteers are really strapped for time. You know, if they want to look at a specific section or a specific role that they want to work on, the toolkit will allow them to draw out what they like and come back to what can wait for another day. So yeah, the idea is that it can be bespoke for any club or league. It's super versatile, and yeah, hopefully we'll see big gains across the network.
And we're always open to hearing more as well about how does the toolkit work for you once it's out there and the roles and responsibilities. We want to go further and much deeper because we know that the roles that we're potentially supporting, you look at the clubs and the size of these clubs in this room in particular, there's so many roles and diversity within them roles that need maybe a little bit additional support. So we want people to come and talk to us, don't we, Steph, really?
Absolutely. Like the guys in the room and the people that have completed the toolkit over the past 12, 24 months throughout our pilot process are the ones that have been there and done it. They're the ones that we've learnt from and have got it to where it is now. And so we want to know what goes well and what doesn't. And ultimately we can provide the strategies in the first guise of this toolkit, but we want to hear, you know, what clubs are doing, what has been successful in them getting more volunteers in, so we can spread the word. We'll continue to provide case studies of what's gone well in terms of the toolkit and spread those across our County FA network nationally across our channels as well.
Brilliant. Well, Steph, for you, wearing the blue is not a sign that you're supporting Man City with me being a Man United fan.
I think we are on opposite sides today.
Oh, no. We're still friends, though.
We are.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
My name's Reynolds Ofori-Koree, better known as Rock. I'm chairman of Pitshanger FC Football Club, a grassroots team based in Ealing, West London. It started as a dad on the sidelines, just taking my son to the under 10s, as it was at the time. Chairman is everything and anything, starting from obviously being the chief cheerleader of the club, the chief motivator, to, the chief cleaner, the chief kind of tea maker, coffee maker, social worker at times. I've learned a heck of a lot, in the years I've been doing this. And the thing is, that's one of the reasons why I highly recommend it. And we try as much as possible to encourage parents to support, because you learn so much about yourself, about the children and parents that you interact with. And it's been a fantastic journey.
Okay, I'm now with two people that don't really need too much of an introduction, but Rachael and Faye join us here at the Grassroots Football Awards 2024. What's the atmosphere and the energy in the room been like for both of you today?
Yeah, it was just so positive, isn't it? Everyone in the room doing such good work to support grassroots, to allow young children to get into football and be happy and express themselves, learn valuable lessons. But it's important to celebrate people that, just give up their time and energy and do something so positive.
Rachael, obviously, you've been giving out a few awards on the stage and you see the VTs, and I'm quite an emotional person, so it always puts a tear in my eye. I don't know how you stand up there and manage to welcome her on. But what's it actually felt like seeing the people in the room walk up on the stage and be recognised for something that they don't feel they should be recognised for?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things, is that they don't feel that they deserve to be recognised, don't feel that they deserve the thanks. But the clubs, the kids, the people won't get the opportunity, and football won't thrive without volunteers, without a grassroots section. And for every footballer that is made, they've come through the grassroots, and they've all got a story to be told. So we have to make sure that the thanks to them is a massive thanks, and they understand how appreciated they are.
And it's people in this room that obviously do drive football in their communities, in their locality. And it'd be wrong of me not to actually mention what the England women did in the Euros, but more so beyond that, and actually going to government about the equal access in schools and in clubs. And it's people in this room that I've been having conversations with that actually pick up that mantle and drive it forward to make sure that girls have the opportunity to play in their local community. Going back to your journeys, and I've heard your stories before, how does it actually make you feel in terms of clubs actually breaking down them barriers and giving the opportunity to these girls to now play?
Yeah, I mean, it's great because it makes it feel all worth it, doesn't it? All the years that we kind of were trying to push and improve standards in the England team and at Arsenal, at our club. But yeah, to see young, in the last VT was young little under-6 girls team and their enjoyment. And the fact for them now, it's a sense of belonging. They feel like football is for them. There's no other question in their mind that they can have that opportunity. So for the things that we went through and the eras before us went through, to now know that that's happened and we're getting the coverage and the exposure, and the England team's still improving and breaking down more barriers, getting more funding for schools, because that's important that it goes there. But equally, I remember always going to America, when I went to America, and the young girls just playing football on the local park, and we see that now in England, and it warms your heart, doesn't it? That they don't have all the kind of insecurities or feeling isolated like we might have as girls when we're in football, but now they just feel part of it, and they feel like they can go and buy a shirt with Williamson or Russo on the back, and they feel part of it and valued in the sport, which is so important.
And Rachael, representation and being able to identify yourself in that volunteer or that coach or that person that's setting up the activity for you is so important as well, isn't it? Because obviously we've just seen, I think it was Aisha who was just talking to from Alpha United. She's from that community, from that religion, from that race, and it just means so much to the kids to actually aspire to be someone that's just like them in front of them.
Yeah, definitely. I think, if you can have someone that you can relate to, that you can really understand, they've been on a journey, they either look like me or they've come from the same area or whatever it is, but you can take that up and it just gives you belief that you can do it. And sometimes that little thing can be so small, but it's massive because that can take you to the next level. It can inspire someone else to do something greater than possibly we have.
And that's like really in the community. And if we come to this sort of event today and sort of take the broader view, we're talking about like the England football family, and like football to me, regardless of race, ethnicity, your background, where you're from, it does have a real family feel to it, especially when you come to an occasion like this. What would your sort of closing message be to anybody out there that's thinking about volunteering and giving up their time within their community?
It would be to do it, go for it. I said on stage, be brave and step into that unknown. You might be lacking in confidence because you've never done it before, but you won't know until you try. And you might have a massive impact in someone else's enjoyment in the sport, or whether it's just for fun or if they go on to play for England. You never know, so just go for it and be part of that special journey as well.
Yeah. Rachael, anything to add?
Yeah, no, I think the same thing. Is just go for it, be brave. You never know what the outcome may be because everybody in this room, they never came here to expect to get an award, but what they've done and what they're doing is worthy of awards, and it's changing many people's lives, and to be able to inspire people, I think is probably the biggest thing. So, we need volunteers, we need more of them, and hopefully more people can get involved.
Brilliant. Rachael, Faye, thanks ever so much.
No problem. Thank you.
It feels strange, Alpha United winning another award, but you can tell why. We're joined by Aisha, Young Volunteer of the Year, that is from Alpha United. And I've also dragged in Joe from West Riding County FA because that's where Alpha United actually affiliate. Aisha, first of all, congratulations. How does it feel to be a national winner?
It's crazy, it's an honour. It's really nice to see.
And Joe, obviously we do these awards year on year. And obviously we've got 50 county FAs out there, and it's always nice to have a national winner represented here. Yeah. But I know a lot of county FAs do their own local awards and recognition. What does it mean being able to actually bring volunteers, clubs, leagues, stuff, and recognise them more locally?
Yeah, look, volunteers are the lifeblood of football across the country. From our perspective as at West Riding, it's so important to recognise our volunteers, to showcase what hard work they do. The number of hours that these volunteers put in is unbelievable. From Aisha's point of view, at 23, she's just really getting into it, really getting into her stride. She's got many years ahead of her, and it's just fantastic to be able to share this opportunity with Aisha and the rest of the volunteers and stuff that have won awards today. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. And Aisha, we're talking today about the football family, and obviously families are all about connection, community, appreciation, respect. What's it felt like for you coming into a club like Alpha United, and what's that family feel given you to actually give more back to football?
Yeah, no, I think it's like my way of giving back to the community, and a huge thanks to Wahid and Alpha United Juniors for giving me the opportunity to give back. It's just nice for the children as well, especially where I'm from in Bradford, being like part of the ethnic minority and like giving a safe space for the kids. So it's just nice.
And obviously we saw in the VT there, someone like yourself that represents your community, for the young people that are actually coming to it, to see someone like yourself giving up the time and showing it can be done if you want to do it, that must just fill you with such pride.
It is, especially because they're at such a young age. Just watching them grow and develop, and then also having that sort of like friendship. So yeah, it is really, it's a nice feeling watching them grow and giving them the opportunity.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Joe,
you.
not to put you on the spot at all. Obviously, we talk to clubs week in, week out in the different roles that we do. And they're always crying out for more and more volunteers.
Yeah.
What is it you think we could do more of, other than just putting them under this umbrella of the football family, to actually support the volunteers out there?
Yeah, look, there's loads of stuff out there. I know the FA have obviously launched stuff over the last 12 months, particularly, in terms of reward, recognition. Getting those volunteers and keeping them is vitally, vitally important. I think there's loads of support that us as a county FA can give volunteers along the way. We're looking at working with a load of clubs around volunteer plan. You know, what does that look like in the future? In terms of what have you got now, but what does the future look like in terms of succession planning and everything else? But that reward and recognition is really important. And actually, sometimes that doesn't have to necessarily be a big award. That can just be that really simple thing of saying thank you. And I think it's so important to say those words quite often to volunteers. From our perspective as a county FA, we get paid for what we do, which is amazing to work in football every day. But these guys do it thoughtless, it's free, they volunteer their time and effort. But just saying that word thank you is really, really important.
It goes a long way, doesn't it?
It goes a hell of a long way, yeah.
And on that note, Aisha, thank you. Let's just hold that award up to the camera. Alpha! Well, that's all we've got time for you at the Grassroots Football Awards 2024. It's been great to actually see all these winners in the room, but they're just the national winners. You're all winners at the end of the day. There's thousands of you up and down the country giving up your time, passion and commitment to make football happen. Make sure you go to My England Football and sign up to be rewarded and recognised for the part you play in making the beautiful game what it is.
It's been amazing to see throughout this episode the hard work of the volunteers, the stories here at MSB Woolton, and the impact and incredible hard work and passion that go into making the game what it is.
On top of what you already do to recognise and reward your volunteers, this episode is to obviously launch the England football family. It's just another way to be able to recognise the work, the passion and commitment that goes into volunteering all year round.
Remember to thank those around you. As clubs and leagues, let's recognise those who are already in our communities or the ones that we want to welcome in and make the support available to them. If you'd like to find out more, visit englandfootball.com/volunteer or sign up to be rewarded for everything that you give at myenglandfootball.com.
All the links will be in the description below. Remember, football truly doesn't happen without you. Until the next episode, take care and goodbye.